What's up guys, it's Rob here. I want to provide you a book review on The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. This is the unabridged edition. This book was originally published in 1910 by the Elizabethtown Company. I don't think this is the original version of it. It's definitely written in an older English, so it's a little difficult to read. It's only 57 pages, so it's a very small book. I think most of you can read this book in about 2 hours. It won't take long, but me personally, I kept reading certain paragraphs to make sure I understood it wisely, to understood it correctly. And so I want to just give you my heads up on what I believe about this book. So I've read books like How to Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big, a lot of books from all these older individuals too. Those are just a couple of examples. This book was published before any of those books were published. And so Wallace D. Wattles, he's just giving you the hypothesis of how to get rich. Most people look at wealth as building it as like a math equation. And the only other person I've really heard this here from, well, two other people, will be Tom Bilyeu and Alex Hormozi. They're the only people I've heard before I reread this book again, because I didn't really like grasp it to begin with. Is that wealth is a science equation. It's a hypothesis. It's not a math equation. It's not, hey, you make $100,000. If you want to make $100,000 a year, means work 5 days a week, make $400 a day, and you make $100,000. No, it's like, if I do this, then I will get that. And if not, this is what I have to do. You have to create a whole hypothesis. Then you have to reiterate and change your thesis and your research and all the variables that are involved. It's a great book. The only other person I heard talk about this was, his name is Rob. I remember from the skating show, oh man, I forgot what his name, man. Great guy. I'm so sorry, dude. If you watch this video, I'm so sorry. Rob something. I want to say Rob Perkins, but that's super wrong. You know, like Robin Big, that one? Yeah, him. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, look for it. He gives you a step-by-step instruction on how to get rich in the most scientific way. He focuses on how you think and then using your thoughts to then create the action for what you want and desire, so then you can have the results that you so want. It's not like I'm gonna think, and then everything's just gonna come my way. No. He says you need to think, be specific, clear, definitive, visualize it, believe it, and you have to eliminate any other thought in your mind of it not being possible. So you have to eliminate doubt, worry, hatred, resentment, anything that doesn't work for you. Do not do it. He goes as far as saying, like, look, don't go to a church that tells you you should believe in poverty. Leave the church. You shouldn't read books that tells you to do the opposite. No. He says, look, find out the answer for the hypothesis and just work on that. And then want to work on that. Now, for example, he says you have to get involved in the right business. In other words, if you get involved in the newspaper business today, well, then you're going to fail. You have to get involved in the right business that's going to help you get to where you want to be. And he focuses saying, pick the business that might be very popular, but it's not popped off yet. You know, like there's still a lot of room to grow right now. Like he talked about at the time, it was trains. You know what? Railway system today, it's actually a pretty good business probably. It's like one example. Probably coding, web development, trading, negotiations, building infrastructure, manufacturing. There's a lot of great business today that you go in and get involved with. I give this book a 4.7 out of 5. Not my favorite book ever, that's for sure. It's definitely a good book. He says you got to work with purpose, with action. If you don't have a target, you will never hit it. And guess what? You're always going to be poor. You're always going to believe in poverty because you're not being specific. You're not working with purpose. You're not working towards something. You're not attempting to go somewhere because you're not trying to figure out what the basics is. What people are trying to do is go from A and skip B through Y and go to Z. He's like, no, B to Y are probably more important than A or Z. You got to figure out that part because then you will have Z. But people don't want to do the stuff in the middle because it's nonsense, it's pathetic, it's whatever it is. You guys are making a bunch of excuses in order to get there. So it's a great book. He's straight to the point. It's again, it's an older English. It's not necessarily the easiest book that you can read, but it's a phenomenal book. And I do suggest it. This is basically the outline version of Think and Grow Rich in a way. So I highly recommend it. Here I wrote some quotes that you guys, I wrote quite a few quotes, so I hope some of these quotes can help you out. I'll make a secondary video strictly with just the quotes. The visible supply is practically inexhaustible, and the invisible supply really is exhaustible. Everything you see on earth is made from one original substance, out of which all things proceed. Original substance is alive with creative energy. Getting everything you want requires power, meaning not falling over desire. If you are to become rich in a scientific and certain way, you must rise entirely out of the competitive thought. Think creatively, not in forms of competition. Then you're thinking in hatred. Your purpose should harmonize with the purpose that is in all. So you need not hesitate to ask largely. First step toward getting rich is to convey the idea of your wants to the formless substance. We are thinking substance, and thinking substance always takes the form of that which it thinks about. Faith is born of gratitude. All you need to know is what you want, and to want it badly enough so that it will stay in your thoughts for good. The answer to prayer is not according to your faith while you are talking, but according to your faith while you are working. Again, you have to work and work and work. Your faith will happen as you work your butt off. Any attempt to use your will upon others will only tend to defeat your purpose. If you're going to think for other people, guess what? You're just wasting your energy. True faith is never boastful. If you believe, be humble. Never admit the possibility of failure or speak in a way that infers failure as a possibility, meaning never doubt, never worry. Only work and talk and speak and share as if as is. Do not wait for opportunity, create it. It is important that you should command your attention. What concerns you is the cure, meaning if you know what you got to do, then do what you got to do. You must learn to see the underlying truth in all things, meaning it's not that truth or that truth. It's somewhere in the middle. Solve your problem. Get rich. Put your mind into present action. Yesterday doesn't exist. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Now exists. You must do all that you can where you are. Successful action is cumulative in its result. Inefficient acts accumulates in failure. Meaning if you're just watching TV all day and then jacking off and smoking weed and drinking and you can add an extra 10, 20 hours into your day, those are inefficient acts will result in your failure. And don't be surprised when you're dead broke at 75 years old crying out your misery because your family doesn't love you. Desire is a manifestation of power. Gratitude will never fail to strengthen your faith and renew your purpose. That's a couple quotes that I got from the book. I hope it helps. I hope you will read it. I suggest it. The audiobook is 2 hours long. You can listen to it, and then I suggest highly read the book. If not, get the audiobook and read the book at the same time so you can retain twice the amount of information. You'll probably retain about 3 times more information, and it'll be easier for you to focus too. With that, guys, I bid you adieu. Take care.